Welcome to the new video, Blocking Spam with Greylisting. In the previous video, we configured Postfix to support TLS. In this video, we will first install PostGrey, then configure Postfix to use PostGrey as a check_policy_service, and finally reload Postfix configuration. As anyone who has been on the internet for a while knows, email has a big problem with unsolicited commercial email, UCE, also known colloquially as spam. Most of this problem boils down to the fact that the SMTP protocol does not do any validation message senders. While properly configured mail servers will validate their users prior to allowing them to send email from their account, the protocol itself does not prevent random machines on the internet from sending mail from arbitrary users and domains. This allows spammers to send forged emails through misconfigured mail systems or simply send the messages themselves directly to the recipient mail server from VMs at hosting providers as well as compromised desktops and servers. Luckily, there are steps that can be taken in order to detect or limit the spam directed to your system. A few common approaches are reputation block lists, RBLs, which provide mechanisms for looking up the likelihood that the sender is a spammer based upon past behavior or characteristics of the system. For example, some block lists considered end-user IP ranges to be likely spammers, since legitimate mail tends to come through the ISP's mail servers, while significant amounts of spam come from compromised Windows desktops. The SpamHost project is one of the better-known RBL providers, Bayesian filtering, which uses analysis of the content of both spam and legitimate emails in order to determine a statistical likelihood that the message is spam. Greylisting leverages temporary message rejections in order to limit spam intake. Greylisting primarily protects against spammers who use scripts to send mass quantities of email directly to your mail server. These scripts do not tend to queue and retry delivery of messages, which encounter a non-fatal error from the mail server, while legitimate mail servers do. Let's start by looking at how we would implement greylisting on our existing Postfix mail server. Let's see practical approach on how to do it. First, install PostGrey using sudo apt get install postgrey. Configure Postfix to use PostGrey as a check_policy_service. Reload Postfix configuration using sudo postfix reload. Awesome. Now after this, we should know how it works, so let's understand it even further. PostGrey integrates with Postfix by setting it as a check policy service within the SMTP recipient restrictions section of the configuration. When Postfix receives an SMTP connection providing a message recipient via a RCPT2 command, it will pass the collected information about the connection to the check policy service in order to decide if the message should be accepted or rejected. PostGrey takes that information and creates a tuple of the mail service IP address, the provided sender email address, and the recipient email address. This tuple is looked up in a local Berkeley's DB file containing those three fields, as well as timestamps for the connection. The first time a given tuple is seen, the message will be temporarily rejected. Attempts to deliver will continue to be rejected until 5 minutes have passed, after which the message will be successfully delivered. Once the message is accepted, it will be accepted immediately within the next 35 days. Spammers tend not to retry after the initial attempt, so each recipient it attempts to deliver to will be given the temporary failure, and you will never see them again. Legitimate mail servers should retry, so the messages will be delivered. Do note that some badly configured mail servers may not retry for a long period, so you may find that some email arrives much later than it should after the first time you receive a message from that sender. Superb! In this video, we block spam with greylisting. In our next video, we will be filtering spam with Spam Assassin.